Now that you know the basic elements of perspective, let's cover how to draw a box in one of the most common perspective scheme, one-point perspective.
By the way, if you enjoyed this lesson, be sure to check out the full Drawing Fundamentals course at mydrawingtutorials.com/basics. It's designed to teach a complete beginner all the basic skills they'll need to become successful at drawing. Okay, back to the lesson.
Start by establishing the horizon line. The horizon line, in addition to representing the height of the viewer's eyes, also represent the division between the ground and the sky. So if you choose to put the horizon line low on the paper, we're showing more of the sky in our composition. If you put it high on the paper, we'll show more of the ground. For now, we'll keep it simple and put it right in the middle. Next, let's put in the vanishing point. We can put it anywhere on the horizon line. In one-point perspective, the vanishing point will indicate the position of the viewer. In other words, if the horizon line represents the vertical position of the viewer, the vanishing point represents the horizontal position of the viewer. Again, it's important to note that the vanishing point only indicates the position of the viewer in one-point perspective. Next, we need to choose where to put our box in relation to the horizon line. If we put it over the horizon line, that means it's above eye level and we'll be looking up at it. Putting it below the horizon line means it's below eye level and we'll be looking down on it. Let's go ahead and put it below eye level and to the left. We can establish the front plane of the box by drawing this simple shape. In one point, the front plane is facing the viewer head-on, so it will not be affected by perspective. This means that we can draw the horizontal lines as perfectly horizontal and the vertical lines as perfectly vertical. Cool, that was easy. Now, the depth line of the box is going away from the viewer, so they will be affected by perspective. And if you remember the rule that we established earlier, parallel lines that are going away will converge towards a common vanishing point. So, to draw those, we would just connect the corners of the front plane to the vanishing point. Lastly, we'll establish the back plane of the box. Start by placing a line anywhere along the converging depth lines. If you want the box to be shallow, place the line closer to the front side. If you want the box to go further back in space, place a line closer to the vanishing point. These construction lines can be pretty confusing, and a common mistake is to mix them up and connect them incorrectly. One trick that can help is to imagine that you're taking the edge from the front and sliding it to the back. Once you've decided the depth of the box, the point where the back edge intersects the depth lines will be where you put the other edges. Erase the construction lines, and there's our box. Now, we've drawn this box as a transparent wireframe, where all the planes are visible. This is really useful because it helps us to understand the structure of the box better. But in real life, the planes on the other sides wouldn't be visible. So, to help it read better, we can add a darker line weight to all the lines that should be visible. Notice that by putting the box to the left, we are able to see the right side. And by putting it below the horizon line, we are able to see the top of it. Now, to make sure you understand this process, pause the video and draw this box using the step I just laid out. You can do this freehand or use a ruler if it helps. All done? Great, let's do another example. Once again, we'll start by establishing the front plane. We'll put this one above eye level and to the right. Connect the corners to the vanishing point. Then decide how deep you want the box to be, and slide one of the front edge back. Where it intersects with the depth lines is where you put the rest of the edges. Erase the construction lines. Give a thicker line weight to the edges that should be visible. Notice that by putting this box above the horizon line, we're able to see the bottom of it. And by putting it to the right, we're able to see the left side of it. Once again, pause this video and draw this box for yourself. Okay, for the next example, we'll put the box right on the horizon line. Connect the corners to the vanishing point, and establish the back plane of the box. Lastly, erase the construction lines, darken the line weights, etc. This time, since the box is sitting above and below eye level, we're not able to see the top or bottom. Now, that should cover most of the one-point perspective situations. But there are a few scenarios where the perspective can look a little strange. For example, suppose the bottom edge of the box is right on the horizon line. Now, when we connect the corners to the vanishing point, only the top depth lines seem to converge. The bottom depth lines will blend right in with the horizon line. This will give the box a somewhat lopsided appearance. If you draw a box in this position and find that it looks weird, don't worry. The perspective is still correct. You're just not used to seeing a box at this angle. The other situation is when the side of the box is vertically aligned with the vanishing point. Now, when we draw in the depth lines, only the right side seems to converge, and the left side just looks like a perfectly vertical line and blends in with the front left edge. Again, this can give the box a lopsided appearance. The last scenario is when you put the box right smack on the vanishing point. Here, even though we're able to see all the sides and back planes if the box is a wireframe, in real life, the front plane would cover all of it and the box would just appear as a flat square or rectangle. Go ahead and pause the video and draw all these boxes so you can become familiar with them. Now, the thing about one-point perspective is that the further you get from the vanishing point, the more the objects will distort. For example, here's a cube drawn close to the vanishing point. It looks pretty normal, right? But watch what happens when I move this same cube further out to the left. The further it gets from the vanishing point, the more stretched out it appears, and it almost doesn't look like a cube anymore. The same thing happens when you move it to the right, or up and down. So if you're working in one point, and you don't want a lot of distortion in your drawing, try to keep your subject close to the vanishing point. Now that you're familiar with the most common one-point situations, your assignment is to draw a bunch of one-point boxes on your own. Start by establishing the horizon line and vanishing point. Draw the front plane of the box. Connect the corners to the vanishing point. And draw in the back plane. I like to draw the boxes freehand and then clean up the lines with a ruler. You can also shade in the different planes to help it read better. Place the boxes at various positions and see how it affects their appearance. Try drawing tall and wide boxes, deep and shallow boxes, and so on. Okay, have fun with this exercise, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and if you did, make sure to check out the full Drawing Fundamentals course at mydrawingtutorials.com/basics. You'll get tons of additional lessons and step-by-step exercises and learn things like how to draw anything accurately from observation, how to construct and draw objects from your imagination, how to shade realistically, and a whole lot more. So if you're ready to improve your drawing skills, head over to mydrawingtutorials.com/basics or click the link below.